Hello and welcome to the Liz Experiment YouTube channel, my channel devoted to field notes from my journey towards architecting my best life. I am recording today from Hoboken, New Jersey, so the background might look familiar because I believe I recorded from here before. And I'm back in and around New York City for a couple of reasons. The first is I leave for Europe tomorrow. And so I'll be packing, getting all my things together for the next phase of this wild ride, I guess. The second is this week, and those of you who follow my blog have already, I guess, read about this. This week the world lost my dear friend Kofi. He was also my business partner for, 5 or 6 years. And so I'm back here in New York to celebrate his life and to grieve his passing with family and friends, which is where I was earlier today. And I originally wasn't going to record anything today, just kind of out of respect for Kofi and mourning his loss and being present with it. But after spending the last 2 days listening to stories about his life and how people are processing his death, I recognize that he'd kind of want me to keep going and keep doing what I'm doing. And so I decided to sit down and record for you today. So in addition to celebrating Kofi's life, I'm also enjoying, I don't want to say, I guess maybe enjoy is the wrong word, but I'm taking in all of the love and support that has been pouring into me from many of you out there. It's just been incredible and very, very necessary given how hard this past week has been. I learned about Kofi's passing on Thursday or Friday of last week, and today is Thursday of the following week. And so it's been really, really hard, as any of you know who've lost a loved one. And each one of you that has reached out to me in any way, I'm humbled by it, and I very, very much appreciate it. So what did I learn this week? I learned a lot. I learned a lot about my friend Kofi, obviously. He had hundreds of people at the viewing last night, and again, hundreds of people at the funeral, memorial, and luncheon services today. And the stories about the extensiveness of his life and his dedication to living a purposeful life, dedication to his family and friends, it was really quite lovely to experience and to learn that somebody could be who he was in this world. He did pretty much everything, and it was cool. It was really, really cool to see all of that. But I was also reminded that, despite being everything, you can also have flaws. And I think that was probably my biggest reminder. I don't want to say I learned that. I've definitely talked about that before with friends and family. But I was reminded through the showering of love for Kofi, he was not a perfect man, and none of us are. And it made me think about, again, my own greatness, and how I've not nurtured it for fear that my flaws are what defined me instead of my strengths, or instead of both of them. And so I'm definitely going to be reflecting on that for a good long while, especially as I take this next step into European travel and really trying to own this gift that's been given to me of a life. What I worked on this week. So, this was, again, a very hard week. So one of the things I worked on was giving love to those who were also friends and family of Kofi. But the other part of that is receiving love. And that has always been very challenging for me. And so I spent a lot of time trying to be very present with what was happening in the world and around me with the loss, but also just taking in and sharing the love and support around me. If you guys have any comments about doing that, about how you've learned how to do that on your own journey, I would love to hear about it in the discussion board, because I'm 37 years old, and that's still, I wouldn't say a mystery, but it's still a challenge that I'm kind of facing. So the other part about what I'm kind of working on this week, what is related, because I've been reflecting on my friend's life, and one of his mantras, and one that I've heard from other friends before, of course, is meeting people where they're at. And I really took that into consideration as I went about my week, and just meeting people exactly where they are. And to break that down, because I feel like that's a great saying, but I didn't really know what it meant before. But it really was, if somebody came at me yelling, I just was there with them. I didn't yell back. I stayed in my own energy, stayed in my own vibe, but just kind of met them where they were, with grace and humility and kindness and patience. And that sounds like I'm some sort of Mensa. Obviously, I wasn't perfect at this, but I tried. But on the other side of that, and I think the more important part of that, is meeting myself where I'm at. Whether that's anxiety or fear or sadness or happiness and excitement and awe. Just meeting myself where I am and being okay with that, because why not? First and foremost. But also, if I don't do that, then I can't meet others where they're at. And if I can't meet others where they're at, then I'm going to be constantly pulled into other people's dramas or happinesses and trying to make them my own, instead of investigating my own internal core and who I am and why I am. So those were some big points I was working on this week. And also just being incredibly present. Again, wasn't perfect at that, but it was something I was very, very aware of, because there's a lot of emotions flying around this week. There was a lot happening in my world this week. I had the week off from work, which was awesome, because it was absolutely necessary. But it was staying present with it all made it a little less overwhelming. I should also note that one of the other things I did this week, which kind of got overshadowed by the passing of Kofi, was my sister-in-law's baby shower was this week. And I know I had a request from a friend to talk more on sort of the topic of, not being married and on the track of being married and having kids and that sort of thing. So I'm going to save that one for next time. But the baby shower went really well. It went well. It was really great. But I do have some thoughts I want to share about that whole world and topic. However, I'm a little bit exhausted from the week, so I'm going to sign off here. If you have any thoughts about what I've shared today, about how you do some of the things that I've been working on, or I'd like to hear maybe what you've also learned this week, so I can maybe expand my thinking about what I should be cluing into, that would be great. Please let me know that in the comments. If you like this video, please hit the like button. And again, if you want to stay up to date with what I'm doing on this journey towards architecting my best life, please subscribe. Until next time, thanks for watching.